Hi there, my name is Lindsay and I'm going to be a senior at the College of Worcester. And I'm going to talk about a topic that a lot of us have trouble with, which is recognizing depression. So, yes, I will admit I have felt depressed before, thought that I was kind of having some episodes of depression. Um, some ways that I sort of recognized it were not only just, the negative emotional state of feeling depressed and negative thoughts, but it also would affect my behavior. Some of the ways that I think it did that is, like, for instance, I started to become very introverted, wanting to be by myself, avoiding social situations. I would get tired easily, so it had some physical effects. I'd want to just lay in bed all day and sleep and escape the physical world around me. I'd, watch a lot of TV, escape into that fantasy world, want to avoid being outside, things like that, which we all know can be damaging if we're cooped up for too long. Also, I noticed it would affect my thoughts. I would notice that my thoughts were just consistently being negative. You know, um, I have what I like to call cognitive misbeliefs, which contributes to depression. There's a whole school of psychology out there who thinks that, we have a certain cognitive schema or kind of our thoughts or beliefs about the world around us. Common in cognitive therapy, they think that if you change your thoughts, you can change your reality, and negative thoughts is what leads to depression. And within, this school of thought in psychology, they have something called a list of common cognitive distortions. So for instance, I know I have some of these cognitive distortions, like, um, I'll refer to my list right here. Um, so there's all or nothing thinking, which is sort of saying, you only view situations in two categories, like I'm a complete success or I'm a total failure. Like there's no in between. And I think a lot of people have issues with that because a lot of times we fall in the middle and uh, you know. And then another one is called emotional reasoning, which is, because we feel something, feel an emotion, it must be true because we feel it is that way because, we have this bias because within our body we're having this emotional reaction, so we feel like, that is the reality, but that isn't necessarily what the reality is. Also, something called magnification, so that's kind of when you magnify all the negative details of a situation and minimize all the positive aspects of it. That can contribute to depression. Mental filtering, which is just blowing up one little negative detail and letting that define the experience. And then another one is overgeneralization. So you make this overall sweeping conclusion saying, oh, I had this negative experience now, so my whole life is negative experiences. Um, so there's a lot more on that list that you can refer to if you want to look it up. It's called Common Cognitive Distortions, and it's by Aaron Beck. He's a psychologist out there. But my point for bringing that up is it just adds to the depression cycle because, our thoughts create a reality, and, if your reality is constantly negative, you're going to create a cycle of, negative energy, negative emotions, and that's going to begin to actually attract negative outcomes into your life, which will confirm your cognitive bias in your head, and it will just start the cycle again. And, that kind of refers to what some people believe in, which is um, called the law of attraction. So I also think that, if you're feeling depressed and having negative thoughts all the time, this will open you up to feel more negative emotions besides just sadness and depression. Because if your mind is stuck in a negative mindset, your mind's going to be open to other negative emotions like anger, jealousy, anxiety. Because if your mind is used to, firing in a specific path, it's going to become a mental habit. So it's really important to try to get out of that mental habit of negative thinking. So one thing I would say is ways to recognize when it's really becoming a problem, either within yourself or in a friend, is if you or your friend is, starting to become a hermit, kind of isolating themselves, they appear to be, uh, you or them appear to be harming yourself physically or emotionally, they're beating themselves up over little things, or you are, and definitely you or your friends are having suicidal ideation. So, if your friends are having issues, be there for them to talk to, remind them that they're loved, that people care about them, that you're willing to listen to them. Maybe even point out all the positives in their life or the things that they do have. Because a lot of times when we're depressed, we kind of fail to see what we do have in our lives. Suggest they get counseling, or if it's an extreme circumstance, call a suicide hotline or 911. Get them on suicide watch. And this goes for yourself too. Like, seek out other people to support you too, to remind you of the positives in your life, and different things like that, or see a counselor for yourself. So, I feel like within depression, there's just many parts of it to address. There's, the mental aspect of it, which I've been going over, but also there's the emotional and the physical. So I'd say some suggestions to get out of a depressive cycle, like for the physical or aspect of depression, or what I like to call body, for like the body, mind, spirit sort of paradigm, is, exercise. That'll create feel-good chemicals. That's a good natural medicine. Also, listening to relaxing music, that can create happy chemicals as well, which contributes to emotions. And then also meditation and yoga are really good, because they'll change your mindset so that your physical body will also start to create more chemicals that are good for your body. And also diet. If you change your diet, your body can start to work the right way, and that'll help to clear your mind and your emotions too. So for the mental aspect of depression, like, one thing I would suggest is, like, change your expectations about the world, because a lot of times I think also depression can result from when your expectations are different from what the reality is. Um, so I'd suggest maybe trying to counteract negative thoughts each time with just a positive thought. Each time you have a negative thought, come up with a positive thought, which is the opposite of it. Another one is to come up with a mantra, maybe, or a phrase to repeat each day, to attract some of the things you want into your life. Like, for instance, you could say, I am a worthy human being, and every day is a success. Or something simple like that, or if there's something more specific that you want to achieve in your life. And the cool thing about these little tricks, like chanting mantras or kind of counteracting a negative thought with a positive thought, is if you keep doing it over and over again, you will create a new mental habit, and you can literally change your life, because you can change your mind to become more positive. And they say that if you, try something out for 60 days straight, and they say that it takes 60 days to create a new habit. So if you do that, you can literally change your brain to, be in a more positive cycle. And also, then there's, people out there who say feng shui is really good. And then there's also the emotional side of depression, so things that can address that. I like to call this the spirit part of the body, mind, spirit. So, get peer support from your friends and family, go to counseling, join clubs, find people with similar interests, um, find people and activities to engage in that inspire you, whether that's, friends, or if you, have some speaker or famous person that you look up to, read their books. Also, find activities that, you really enjoy, like, finding a new hobby, that thing that you've always wanted to do. You could also read self-help books, um, listen to relaxing music, like I said, meditation, yoga. Um, Meditation is supposed to be so good for people with depression. They say it in all the research. Um, also just putting yourself in a more positive environment, like finding that new job, removing yourself from friends or people who just suck the negative energy out of you, and putting yourself around more positive people. That can really help. make a little bit of time each day just to have some you time, just, you know, 10, 20 minutes a day to do something that you love. Um, Also, you could engage in spiritual practices if you're into that. That can certainly help. And also, just kind of following your dreams, finally trying to reach your goals, things that you've always wanted to do. Just having that, sense of accomplishment that can in itself help with depression. So I hope that you found some of the things I said today helpful, and have a good day, and I hope that you can change your life for the better.